Hey, I'm Bees. Welcome to another video. If you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And if you're not new, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk about the FIRE movement and why I think that most people who are doing FIRE will end up running out of money in retirement. So let's get into it. Everywhere you look now, you see people saying that they want to retire early, and early retirement is a great goal that is definitely achievable. I was able to retire early at the age of 29, and I think that many other people can do the same thing. The best way, in my opinion, to get that jump start to retire early is by increasing your income. So once you increase your income and you start to save your money, you'll be able to invest that money that you've saved and then start either making passive income or just growing a savings or retirement account that's large enough that you can live off of. So once you're able to do those things, that is really the steps to early retirement. And when it comes to this FIRE movement, FIRE is when you end up saving 25 times your expenses. So let's say you spend $1,000 or $10,000 a year, you would multiply that times 25, and that's the amount of money that you would want to have in your retirement account before you decide to retire early. And once you have that money in your retirement account, you're able to withdraw 4% a year safely. So for example, let's say you had $1 million in your retirement account. You would be able to live off of $40,000 a year. So every single year you'd be able to take out $40,000, which is a little over $3,000 a month. And that's a decent amount of money that people can live off of. But what I see wrong with the FIRE movement is that they don't really account for inflation that much. And I think that that will make people run out of money. So if you are not accounting for the cost of everything going up, you will definitely end up running out of money in retirement. And another thing that I find wrong with the FIRE movement is that it promotes extreme frugality, and I don't really believe in that. I don't think that you should have to cut out, your Starbucks coffee or cut out Chick-fil-A or any type of entertainment that you enjoy to be able to reach early retirement. If you can't reach early retirement because of like a $5 coffee or going out to the movies every now and then, the issue is you need to increase your income. So there's many ways to do that, and this video isn't about that. But for me, that's the main issue when it comes to the FIRE movement, is that it makes people live lives that over time they're not really happy about it. So years go by and you get tired of having to penny pinch and count every single dollar that's coming in and out without being able to really just enjoy your life, right? So it's great to keep track of your money and your investments, but if you're trying to invest and you can't live your life, that's no way to live. You got to be able to enjoy life, right? You want to have fun. Everybody wants to go on vacation with their family. Everybody wants to, travel different places, do the things that they love to do. So you should never have to give that up for early retirement. Another issue with the FIRE movement is that they're pretty much just assuming that we stay in this long bull market, which is basically the stock market going up in this uptrend. We haven't had a stock market pullback in over 10 years. If you take out the March 2020 pullback, we really haven't had a pullback. So if you're just trying to base your numbers off of perfect conditions, you're going to end up having completely different numbers once we do have a bear market, because it eventually has to come. And I made another video about that. So if you haven't seen my video talking about the potential bear market, make sure you check that video out as well. Now, I know that you're wondering, okay, so you retired early, B. So if you retire early but you don't believe in the FIRE movement, then what do you believe in? So I personally believe in fat FIRE, and fat FIRE is very similar to the FIRE movement, but basically you're going to end up having more money in your retirement account. And I modified mine to where you're also making money passively from passive income investments that you've made. So that allows you to have cash flow and money coming in every single month. And the traditional fat FIRE is where you assume that you will be living off of $200,000 a year. And for a lot of people, that's way more money than they actually live off of a year. So I would say most people, if you account inflation and where I think we're headed to, having somewhere between 100 to 200,000 a year to live off of, that is a better number, right? So if you remember earlier, like what I was talking about, the 4% safe withdrawal rate, with that 4% withdrawal rate, if you wanted to live off of 100,000 a year, you would need $4 million in your retirement account. And now I know you're wondering, all right, what should you be putting into this retirement account? When you invest in your retirement account, typically most people recommend that you put your money into an S&P 500 ETF, and this ETF is an exchange traded fund, and it basically follows different stocks in the stock market. So if you put your money into the S&P 500 ETF, it's going to follow the top 500 stocks in the US market, and really it allows you to have, you know, the best of the best companies in your stock portfolio. And this is really the simple path and the simple way for you to invest long term is by investing into the S&P 500 ETFs. So there are many different S&P 500 ETFs that you can invest into. Some that a lot of people invest into are Vanguard funds. In those Vanguard funds, there's one called VTSAX, and the other one that a lot of people invest into is VOO. And you can check out both of those. And most people like to put their money into these Vanguard funds because they have very low expense ratios. So what that means is that when you put your money into these funds, Vanguard's not taking a lot of money from you to just manage these funds for you. So that's what you want to see when you're investing into ETFs. You don't want to put your money into an ETF that has a high expense ratio. So make sure you check that out before you decide to invest into any ETF. So now that we've covered ETFs and what you should have in your retirement account when it comes to investing for early retirement, really, like I was saying before, is that you want to aim for somewhere between $100,000 to $200,000 for your living expenses. I would say for pretty much everybody, that's going to be enough money to provide for yourself and your future family or your current family, and it's going to be enough to be able to beat out inflation. So if you remember before with the 4% withdrawal rate, so if you're aiming to live off of $100,000 a year, to safely do that with the 4% withdrawal rate, you need to have $2.5 million in your stock account before you decide to retire early, if that's the number that you're looking for. And I like to supplement as well to be able to have more cash flow, to not only rely on your stock portfolio. If you want to supplement and have that cash flow, what I recommend and what I do is I invest into other assets that will allow me to get passive income. So with this passive income, I don't have to go to work for it. I just invest my money into it, and I might have a couple of hours of work that I need to put into it. And some are actually completely passive. I don't have to do anything, and I'm able to get money every single month from these passive investments. Now, there are a lot of different kind of investments that you can put your money into when you're looking for passive income. I'll definitely recommend that you don't try and veer off too much where you're trying out all of these different kind of businesses and things that you're seeing on social media. You definitely want to start with something that is more traditional. So there's real estate investing. And if you think you can't afford to invest into real estate, definitely check out house hacking. And house hacking is basically when you buy a property and you live in either one room and rent out the other rooms, or you live in the house and you rent out the basement. Or if you're able to buy a multifamily, which is a building that has 2 to 4 units in it, you can live in one unit and rent out the other ones. And that will allow your tenants to be able to pay for your mortgage, and you'll live for free, and you'll have a lot of extra money coming in. So, you know, who doesn't want to live for free? Who doesn't want to have extra money coming in? So that is one way to get started with real estate investing. And another traditional way for passive income is stock dividend investing. Now, beware that, you know, a lot of people talk about stock dividends as if, you know, it doesn't require much capital, but you have to understand that to invest into different stock dividend portfolios and to have a stock dividend portfolio that's going to pay out a good amount of money, you're going to have to put in a lot of capital. So I'll put a link in the description to a website that I like to use. It will allow you to calculate what type of returns you'll see from a stock dividend portfolio, and it's on the Market Beat website. But like I said, I'll put a link in the description so you can check it out, and you'll be looking for about 5% return safely from your dividend stocks that you invest in. One of my favorite passive income investment strategies is crypto yield farming. And this is where you invest into different cryptocurrencies, and you're able to get a high interest every single day. But you have to do your research and be very careful when it comes to crypto yield farming. So if you're interested in learning about yield farming and you've never heard about it before, you can definitely check out my DeFi for Everyone course, where I explain how to yield farm, how to stake crypto, and basically earn passive income through crypto safely. Yield farming brings in a good amount of my income every month. So it does require a decent amount of capital to get into yield farming, but there are many opportunities out there. So I do want you to understand, like throughout this video, I'm sure you'll hear me talk about capital. I do want you to understand that it really does take money to make money. And like I said at the beginning of the video, you need to focus on increasing your income. Once you do that, everything will become much easier, because you're not always looking for like home runs every time you invest. So when you have more capital, you're able to make safer investments instead of trying to make all of these risky investments. There are also passive business investments that you can get into, and really with that passive, it's not going to be extremely passive at the beginning. Whenever you start a business, I want you to understand that it is a lot of work up front. I don't care what type of business it is, it's going to be a lot of work because you're getting it off the ground and running. So some businesses that people like to get into that provide passive income, vending machines, very low capital to start, but vending machines bring in a good return. You typically see about a 60% cash on cash return when you invest in the vending machines. So a lot of people sleep on them, but they're definitely something that I'm interested in. I'm trying to pick up a vending machine route this year. Another business investment that people get into is Toro. Toro does definitely have its risk involved, but Toro, you're able to make passive income, another good cash on cash return business. You're able to get your vehicle, you're able to buy a vehicle and put it on Turo and start collecting that money every month. Another business people do is Airbnb. I'm sure everybody has stayed in an Airbnb before. Those businesses are really cash cows, but they have a lot of liability that come with them. But I still find them a good passive income strategy that you can get into. Another type of passive income business that you can get into is the Amazon or Walmart automation. Basically, you end up hiring a company and they create you an Amazon or Walmart store, and they buy and sell the product for you. You don't have to touch any product. You just collect money every single month. This is something that I've done. I've been starting it. I'll let you know that it does take time to ramp up and to actually get to that full amount that you're looking for to be able to buy and sell on Amazon and Walmart. Takes a little bit of time, but you know, it's definitely worth it. There are people making between $5,000 to $10,000 a month passively doing this. And I don't recommend you to go out and take a loan to try to, you know, get one of these stores. This is something that you do if you actually have the capital and you're ready to invest, right? So again, don't go and jump out to like some of these newer type of business investments that you can get into. Focus on the more traditional ones like real estate, stocks, crypto, if you want to count crypto as like a traditional type of investment. So with all of those different kind of passive business investments that you can make, if you tie that in with your money that you put into your retirement account, you will have cash flow coming in and you'll have money coming in from your retirement account. So you have a lot more money coming in every month compared to just relying solely on your stock portfolio. And I think this is more safe compared to just relying on 25 times your expenses and to retire off of that, right? So it's really not that much money. I saw this one guy in the FIRE movement say he retired off of $300,000 and he was in his 20s. There is absolutely no way that you will be able to make it from your 20s until the point that you pass away with only $300,000 in your stock retirement portfolio. Even if your stock portfolio grows over time, there's just no way that will last and beat out inflation over time. So you definitely want to make sure that you're thinking about your long-term outlook and how you plan on spending your life before you get into early retirement and decide to make that jump. And here's a secret that I think that a lot of people don't really talk about. If you're the type of person who, you know, likes to get up and be proactive, live and be productive and like to do things, you never really truly retire, right? So that's why you see people, you know, continuously either working or doing things up until their like late 70s, some people in their 80s, right? I recently retired, and you know, I haven't stopped working. I'm just following my passion. I'm doing what I'm passionate about, and that's what you're really going to keep doing. So before you decide to make that jump, make sure that you know what you're passionate about. Find your passion and just give yourself something that you'll be able to do while you're retired, because if you just retire and you have no passion, no motivation, you're gonna feel like you're dying. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to retire early and then just be sitting around all the time not doing anything. So make sure you take that time out to figure out what your hobbies are, what you're interested in, and really what brings you joy in your everyday life. So I didn't make this video to scare you off from early retirement or anything like that. I just wanted you to see that there are many different ways that you can reach early retirement and to see it from a different angle. So make sure that you do focus on creating that cash flow and investing into long-term assets before you decide to retire. So if you have that extra income coming in every month, you'll be able to retire and live a lifestyle of freedom without worrying about inflation and the cost of goods going up over time. Comment below and let me know how this additional money would help you reach your early retirement goals, and let me know what your early retirement goals are. I'm interested to see what your goals are and what you're aiming for early retirement. Thanks for tuning into another video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking for a community full of people who are looking to retire early and who are investing in stocks, crypto, and real estate, make sure you check out my SLS Discord. I'm in there every single day giving gems, dropping plays. So if you're interested in joining, click the link below, and I'll see you next video.